Good morning and welcome back to the Hadrian's Wall path, and this is day 2 now, and I've just left Heddon-on-the-Wall. It's about a mile behind me and I've just crossed, this is at the A69 I think, massive dual carriageway, constant rumble of noise over in that direction, but thankfully underfoot it is a lot nicer than, I think we did about 13 miles of tarmac yesterday before we even got onto a normal footpath. But so far, absolutely gorgeous views across the valley on the left, and I can see the earthworks of the Vellum, which was a massive bank and ditch behind the wall, and it was actually built after the wall was completed, and they know that because it goes around some of the forts and things like that that were actually on the wall. And basically, hopefully on this section we're going to see the Vellum quite a lot, and it ran about, I'd say, 80 metres or so over there along the field boundary towards those trees, and I know later on there is a really well preserved section, so that'll be really interesting to see. Today I'm going to be ending, I think it's at Chollerford, which is about 15 miles or so. Another long day, but at least it's a footpath underfoot and not tarmac, but the wind is a lot stronger today. So we've just arrived at the Roman fort at Rochester called Vindabala, and it is just a series of earthworks, that's all that's left. But you've got this clear platform, and the footpath actually goes just along its southern edge, and there's a lovely little information board as well, just giving some history on it. And there were some excavations done in the late 19th century, and there's some details on sort of the artefacts that they found there. But what's really impressive is that this fort is one of 16 along the entire length of Hadrian's Wall, and the wall itself was literally along that line of bushes you can see. That's where the current military road is. I'll say military road, that's the B road that we now use. It was the military road during the time of the Roman Empire, and then there was another half of the fort that went out north of the wall, and awesome sort of gates and stuff that controlled passage of people and goods. Got lots more forts and mile castles and turrets to see, but this is the first fort we've actually seen since, I think, the very start of the walk. So we recently crossed over the B road to get to the north side of Hadrian's Wall, and this hedge line here actually marks the original line of the wall. But what's quite amazing is the path follows the very bottom of the ditch that was just north of the wall itself, and this would have been potentially filled with sticks, sharp sticks and things like that, to stop people being able to charge up at the wall, and then the wall would have been about 3 meters up here. So it's really quite amazing, like you can just walk along here and not even realise you're walking within an earthwork. But if I look ahead as well, the bank just rises up over here, just proving that we are at the bottom of the ditch. These here are Whittle Dean reservoirs, and it's actually a nature reserve as well, and it even comes with its own bird hide. And there's actually quite a lot of wildlife about. It's been really, really nice. We had some goldfinches just in front of the hide when we were in there, and you've got some swans and some cygnets, and flying above are common terns. Really, really nice. Had a nice rest there. It took about 15 or 20 minutes, and now carrying on. I think we're going to stop at Portgate for a little while and have some proper lunch there, about 5 miles or so down the trail. And it looks like the weather is inbound. So random things you can see on this trail. Lovely stone, a lovely Super Nintendo as a brick, and if I go a little bit further down here, a PlayStation. That's random. So we just had to briefly follow the road again. This little section to Chollerford follows a bit of the road, then it's behind the road. But I've got an awesome view across to the Vellum, which is this massive series of earthworks on the other side of the road. And this is the most prominent they've been on the whole trek so far. Just arrived at this absolutely awesome section of earthworks. Look at the Vellum just alongside. It's what, 30 meters over there. Amazing series of earthworks. This is probably the best preserved section that we've seen so far along the entire trail yet again. It's just phenomenal how well preserved this section is. this here is the Roman fort called Onnum, and you've got a clear earthwork that runs right along the field here, and then it turns right, and you've got earthworks inside of all the buildings still visible. And just behind this pylon is Halton Castle, which is a 13th century manor house. It's a shame we can't get a better view, but it's awesome to see. So just as we left Portgate, after having some lunch there, which was actually really nice, had a packed lunch, but we bought some hot drinks from there, which is really nice. The trail has actually diverted slightly off the original route. The original route is actually, if I turn around this way over there, the other side of this field, which is a bit of a shame. It said it goes past the Mile Castle and stuff, and it said remains of on the map, but we couldn't see any trace from where we were. But on a positive note, we're going through this absolutely amazing ancient woodland, and this is probably only like the second or third woodland we've walked through on the entire trail so far, and we've got about, I want to say 4 miles left before the end of the day, and it's only 1:30. We are making excellent time. We started about 8:15 this morning. We just left the woods and come across this, which is Mile Castle 24, and on the map it shows it as remains of, but really it's just a few earthworks. I suppose there might be some walls underneath these, but sadly no information board. But really cool to actually see the site of our first Mile Castle, because all the other ones are marked on the map but you can't actually see them, but really nice to see. Unfortunately, the rain has arrived again. Oh, we've only got about 3 kilometres left to go. Finally, we've got a little bit of calmer, dry weather for a second. And I just wanted to point out that across this field is the Church of St Oswald, and it was actually built on the site of a medieval building. But that one only grade 2 listed and dates, I think, the 18th or 19th century, so it's not particularly old. So this here is actually Heavenfield battle site, and it took place in 633 AD. And at that point, Hadrian's Wall was potentially still intact, and it says on the information board, perhaps even 20 feet high at the time, which is really, really cool. And this is also part of the St Oswald's Way, and I've been following that for about 8 or 9 miles. And that one starts, I think, at Durham and ends at the holy island of Lindisfarne. We are so excited to get to see this huge chunk of wall here, because it's been about 13 or 14 miles since Heddon-on-the-Wall, and we haven't seen any wall since then. So this is awesome, awesome to see, and we weren't expecting it. We just went over a stile and here it is. You can even see the line of the earthwork if you follow the wall all the way up. Absolutely awesome to see, and I know we're going to see so much more later on, but I am very, very happy to be seeing this. So something really interesting about this section of wall is not the drainage that you can see just down here, but this little corner. And from here all the way, I think, to Newcastle, the wall was this thick. And I think it's about 10 feet. But from this point all the way west, they actually made the wall a lot thinner, and it meant they can build it quicker and cheaper and still do what it was meant to do and keep out all the invaders from the north. So taking just a little detour off the route to come and check out this, and this is actually the remains of a tower, and there were 2 towers spaced evenly between every single mile castle along the entire route, and this one is the best preserved one that we've come across so far. I have a little lean over, might be able to see what's inside. It is just like a square, not sure what that is over in the corner, but really nice to see more of the wall and some more of the ruins here.